Hello everybody, it's Buck here. We're going to be going over something that every furry should know about, in my opinion. It's a great game. It's called Werewolf the Apocalypse. It is literally 2020 incarnate, and oh my god, you guys are in for a treat, because the furriness of this thing, is just off the charts. And I've played it for years, but I just feel like it needs that wholesome furry spin with the dark, because literally, if anybody can lift this thing up, it is this community, and it is literally all any of us could ask for. Because anyway, Werewolf the Apocalypse is it is made by White Wolf Publishing. It's got gothic horror and and punk and metal and all the other stuff, and also it's just about raw carnage sometimes, and and again, it is one of those things where you're the whole point of the game is to just let loose and get in with your rage, get your rage on. You're basically becoming your heavy metal wolf or cat or hyena or any of these things really. But anyway, because just trust me, it is a treat. Yeah, there's the cover art for the one of the original books. They now have a 20th anniversary edition, and then there's also the core one is Vampire the Masquerade. But we here at Bucksnick Studios talk about the furry side of it, and there are furry vampires as well. They're called gangrel. They're really cool. They have shapeshifting abilities and the ability to take on any animal form and various other things. But again, that is not today. Today, we're talking about werewolves and werebears and so many other things. We got these sexy beasts here. Just look at that. That's just awesome. Yeah, that is what you want. I was saying, we want animal wolves. We got everything from the Scotsman to angry Russian wolves. We also got the Irish in there. I'm just saying, there is a lot going on with this picture. And they're all awesome in their own kind of way. You've got wolves that literally hate technology, and they're like, no, rock solves all problems. You've got ones that are like, I am nothing but technology, and they work for Cockroach, and he's a lot of fun too. Just trust me, this is one of those things where you don't know what you've been missing out on, because the storytelling aspects of this thing are fantastic. And I will praise this game to the day I die, because it is a lot of fun. Because you got werebears. They're awesome, and Cook should totally go and roll up a character sheet for this guy right now. I'm just saying, Cook the bear, but with a really big hammer. It's a big thing, I'm just saying. It's awesome. I need to actually, well, yeah. Each of them has their own unique name, and the bears are literally the defenders of Gaia, in that they are the caretakers. They make sure that Mother Nature is happy. They take care of cairns and all these other things, and just try to keep Gaia alive, because the whole again, Werewolf the Apocalypse is it's an eco story. It is literally eco to the ninth degree, because you're going up against this evil corporation called Pentex that's polluting and corrupting everything, and it's it's kind of again, any show from the 90s that involve things of you taking on big corporate goons because they're trying to pollute. It's Captain Planet, but with angry wolves and bears and tigers and all the other fun stuff just wrapped up into one. And it's just it is because you got were tigers, and there's a whole grouping of were cats. You don't just have were tigers, you have the bastet that are Egyptian were cat thingies. You've got were jaguars, you've got were uh you got where wildcats in the North Americans. Every continent is invested in the literally, to put it into perspective, this game has something for everyone. No matter where you live on this planet, you will find a something that is just designated as your region, and like there are LARPing groups that are out there that you can go and partake in and have fun with. And yes, 2020 is making it where no one can really go out and do anything, but I'm sure there are Discord servers where you are able to play as your characters, because seriously, this game is that massive, and it's just awesome. And like, oh man, like, and again, each of the animals, each of the were creatures has their own designated role given to them by Gaia, at least according to their myths and legends, and they all like literally fit that stereotype in some ways to a T, as far as like, you know, like, and again, you can kind of sway away from it with your character design. That's what role playing and LARPing is all about. But it's just one of those things where it's at least enjoyable to me. Like, and then you got werebats, the Camazotz. Like, I know their name because they're literally based off of like a Central and South American. They're like death bats, basically. They rip off people's skulls. There's all these other fun things, and just, you know, like, it's a metal bat. It's literally like we are so metal that we use skulls for our skull throne, because we're that over the top. And anyway, like, there's a whole bunch of things going on with this lovely fellow. Like, there aren't that many of them in the game, but trust me, there's a sheet that you can make one. And we are furries, and we will find a way to get our OC in there. We will throw a hissy if we do not get our way with getting the character that represents our persona. Oh my god. We have wereboars. Wereboars are fun. Again, another one of those things where you have to go searching for the character sheet and how to design them. But the power levels and all the different things of how to mesh them together and make them in this tabletop RPG are there. You have the system, you have the rules, you have the ability to literally just take different things and mesh them together, and as long as you have spent the points and got the fun stuff and you have the flavor text, boom, you got a wereboar. There you go. You got wererats. They're also fun. They are a lot of fun. They're very much like, the best way I could describe the wererats is they're if Treasure Island and the play the Nutcracker kind of like bashed your heads together, and boom, you've got these wererat guys, and they like are either trying to create chaos or mischief or various other things, and they fit their stereotype to a T. They are plague rats. There are really weird fey rats. There's all kinds of stuff going on in this game. It is extensive and expansive, and like each type of wererat has its own goal or how to deal with things and what to do when this or that happens, and like some of them are literally trying to like have the wild. Again, that's the other thing that is all right. There are 3 personifications of Gaia that you have to worry about in this game. One is the wild, which is literally just chaotic energy that creates stuff. Like, the wild is literally like the wilderness. It's nature. It's all that, and it's creation itself. And then you have the Weaver, who's supposed to bring it all together and make it into a really fun. Essentially, the Weaver does city things. Like, anytime that mankind like builds a city or anything along those lines and like has urban sprawl, that's Weaver going amok and causing things to like essentially causing the wild to be lessened, because it's trying to create order out of chaos. And then you have the Worm, and that deity is supposed to literally destroy everything. Like, it's destruction and not like it's supposed to bring things back into the cycle of the wild. But in our setting, unfortunately, the Worm has gone completely nuts and is trying to destroy everything. And so then you have to, and then so your goal as whatever wild creature that you decide to become, whether it's a werebear, wereboar, wererat, werebat, all the rest of the things, like, your goal is to stand up to the Worm and the Weaver in a lot of cases, because both the Worm and the Weaver have gone a little out of control with what they're trying to do. And like that, and again, like, that's the overarching thing, but you also have your own goals of like whether you want to just go out for ramen or, you know, go to the nearest nearest bar and have a night of it, and then the storyteller will just create shenanigans for you to get into, and usually it involves some evil entity out there, because there's also vampires and vampires, and there's also another faction of that are called mages, and they're doing their own thing, and there's technocratic mages, there's that like literally are all about the technology. You got other mages that are like about throwing fireballs, and like there's whole kinds of rules on how to. Literally, mage is, do I want to do this thing? Yes, and then it has how you do that, because you can do anything with mage. The rules are broken, and it is wonderful, and I love it. But anyway, back to Werewolf the Apocalypse. Your characters are just going to be interacting with all these other supernatural beings and figuring out a way of either coexisting or beating the crap out of them. And if you will play as werewolves, you will probably be solving most of your problems by beating the shit out of it. Like, wholesale. Like, not giving a crap about how you get there. You just go and get a hammer, or you use your claws, and you just slash. You use your claws, your teeth. You are literally a killing machine. And there's different forms, like Krenos is like the one that's the war form, and then you got like a Hispo form, which is like a big human, and then you got slightly smaller versions, and like you then got like big angry boy wolf, and like again, like there's like each, and then werebears have similar things, and then like each set of were creatures have their own sets of forms that fit a certain situation, and all of them have a war form because they need to fight. Kill, because again, combat is a part of this, but it doesn't always have to be, because you have socials, mentals, and physicals to deal with whatever problems, and you also have skills that you can use to solve your problems, because fun times involve, using something as esoteric as basket weaving to get yourself out of a problem that for some reason involved basket weaving. We're not really sure why you needed basket weaving, but you chose it on your sheet and you found a way of using it, because that's what good little players do, is they find solutions to problems the storyteller tells them have problems. Anyway, then you got the hyenas. They're basically the werewolves of Africa. They kick shit in and take people's names and are a lot of fun to play as too, and I don't know as much about them. They used to be a part of the werecats for whatever reason. I don't really know how that worked back in the day. But anyway, all I know is they are their own species now. You get to have hyenas that are hyenas because they're hyenas. That is how that works. The Yin boys will win. They will. And then you got the big, thick, scaly boys known as Mikolai. They are literally these are the most customizable and broken of any of the races that you could possibly play as, because you could pretty much do anything with them as far as like what they look like in the Scaly Kingdom, because they literally are like they only have three forms. They have lizardy form, and then they have their war form, and then they have their human form. That's about it. And the big lizard in the middle there that you see is customizable out the wazoo. He's literally he's a car that you can go and soup up to whatever degree you want, or have any kind of skill or ability or whatever thrown in there. So your GM may just tell you, no, you can't play as these. But the Scalies are resourceful fellows, and I'm sure they will find a way of convincing their GM that they are allowed to play as their alligator, or their dino, or their giant angry lizard that throws fireballs, or a dragon, because dragons are totally what these things are. They're literally there's a whole mythos and lore as to how they lost, because there was the whole, like, again, this is pseudo history, and these guys, whatever happened with that big comet way back when with the dinosaurs, that's how they fell from power, and that is the story we are sticking with. Because we don't know what happened after that. We just know that they stopped being in power. They went to sleep for thousands of years and then woke up in modern times, and boom. You got Killer Croc just running in your sewers, and he's trying to create mayhem and mischief, and Batman, the Camazot, has to go and save the day. Yep, you can bring Batman into this world and he can be a literal werebat. Have fun. Have fun with that. We have were-sharks. They are a lot of fun. They are literally, like, everything with the were-sharks is based off of Pacific Islander mythos and legends, and, like, you got everything from Hawaii to, like, Philippines to to Easter Island to anything that involves island surfing or just the ocean in general. These bad boys are probably involved in, and they are always hungry. Always hungry. And they are stronger than you, even as a werewolf. I'm saying, the werewolves are strong, but when you run up against these guys, it's just not going to be a good day for you. Because they're just, look at them. They're teeth. They're nothing but teeth and anger. And their Gaia's stomach. I don't really know how, I mean, like, I understand sharks are associated with, you know, being nothing but omnivores, but you would think that, like, I'm just saying, most of these things are predatory, so you would think all of them would be Gaia's stomach, but they got that title. So, they literally can eat their weight 10 times over and still be hungry. Oh, I put them in twists. Anyway, these are some artworks of you, like, again, this thing here is some sort of worm-tainted not goodness that your werewolfy character is having to deal with. And so, like, anyway, that's just some of, like, the macabre stuff, because, like, the worm is literally this chthonic horror that you have to contend with, and it is omnipresent and omnipotent, and you, like, there's no, like, the whole point of Werewolf the Apocalypse is you're just not winning. You are fighting the losing fight, you're on the losing side. Also, werewolves are kind of assholes. It's unfortunate, but they are. They're assholes in this game. They have a whole creed and mythos, and they have a whole credo, and they also killed a bunch of the other fake changelings are a different thing. Yes, there are also fake creatures and changelings and other things. But anyway, the other shifters and the werewolves got into a big war called the War of Rage, and that caused all kinds of shenanigans to unfold, where Gaia basically cursed the werewolves to where they can't procreate with each other. They have to procreate with only humans. If two werewolves get together and do the sexy, well, you then have a sterile offspring that is absolutely adorable, but they're usually mutated in some form or manner or way, and they don't understand context as far as, you know, how things work with the human world, because they're neither human nor are they wolf. They are a werewolf, fully incarnate, so they don't belong to either, and so they get angry very easily. Also, they have weird powers, very weird powers if you play as one of them, because they could just literally, like, claw the ground. Like, again, there's different gifts that you get as a werewolf or any of the other were creatures. Like, they're basically superpowers, and you can claw the ground and like in that specific one, and get a whole bunch of whatever element that you want within reason, and boom, there goes the dynamite. You could literally just claw the ground and create thermite or any other fun object, and now that's a thing that the GM has to deal with, and it will be very confusing and hilarious. There will be consequences, but that's neither here nor there. But anyway, long story short, Werewolf the Apocalypse is a game that furries should be playing a whole lot more, especially with all the shenanigans that are going on in 2020 where we're trying to escape. Why don't we go and take on the apocalypse as furries? Heavy metal furries. So anyway, if you guys want to hear any more about Werewolf the Apocalypse, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for tuning in this far. I know I was rambling, but this is my jam. This game is my jam. I loves it. I loves it a lot. And like, also, there's a Werewolf the Apocalypse game coming out soon. It's gonna be epic. I'm looking forward to it. This gamer is looking forward to playing a big, angry, burly werewolf that goes around solving problems with his fists and claws. Yeah. Anyway, this is Buck signing out. Have a good day.